Hey, did you know Long's Products is a family-owned janitorial supply with mops, brooms, trash bags, and they even have food service disposables, carry-out plates, and to-goes? Check us out.
Good evening and welcome to Let's Talk show here on Urban Cast. I'm your host, Jack. Tonight we're talking about an important community event that focuses on awareness, support, inclusion. It's the 5th annual Autism Acceptance Walk, taking place Saturday, April the 18th, 2026, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. over in Keys Park. Before we get kicked off here this evening, I want to remind everybody who's watching that civic engagement matters. Nearly 500,000 Louisiana voters are currently on the inactive voters list. It's a link in this post. Take a moment to check your registration status, because as we know it, in about a month or so, a month or two, we have an election over in Pineville. And of course, we're going to have the midterms coming up in the fall. So it's really important that you guys get out there, go just double check and make sure you're registered to vote. Also, for those watching tonight, we're going to be monitoring the comments. If a comment comes across that, it's something that I know these two ladies can answer, I'm gonna just put it up on the screen, and we'll try to answer any questions that you guys might have. Well, I'm gonna just skip that for now. But joining us tonight is Ora Davis. She's the committee chairperson, and she has with her the president of Zeta Phi Beta, Dr. Hudson, who had to make sure everything was okay over here. Dr. Sheila Hudson, she's with us. If before we begin, Ora, if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself, just about you, so everybody will know who you guys are. And then Dr. Hudson, if you could chime in and let us know who you are.
Hello again. My name is Ora Davis. I am the Autism Committee chairperson for the Autism Walk this year. I am a member of the Zeta Phi Zeta chapter of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated.
Okay. Dr. Hudson.
Hello, my name is Dr. Sheila Hudson, and I am the president of the Zeta Phi Zeta chapter here in Alexandria, Louisiana. I am a native of LeCount, Pineville, Louisiana, and I'm just thankful and grateful for you inviting us to come onto your program tonight.
All right. Well, we're glad to have you guys here, and we certainly are glad to support you guys yet, another time in all of the good work that you guys do in this area of autism. Let me throw this question at you. What inspired the Zetas to launch the Autism Acceptance Walk, and how has this event grown over the last several years?
So the idea for the Autism Walk actually stems from our platform within our sorority. First of all, we are a community conscious, action-oriented sorority. So we are more based on service than the socialization like some other of the Greek organizations. And so within our organization, we have a program called Z-Hope, which stands for Zetas Helping Other People Excel. And one of the platforms that we have within Z-Hope is autism awareness, autism acceptance. And that stemmed from one of our members of the Blue and White family, actually Sean Stockman. He has children who have autism. And then there are others of us, not just on national level, celebrities that also have autism. So we decided to pick up on helping raise awareness of autism, how it has different facets. And so even that was about 5 years ago. And so we just carried on this platform topic today to still raise awareness for autism.
You guys put a lot of emphasis on Autism Acceptance Walk rather than awareness walk. Why is that distinction really important to your group?
So to answer that question on why we say autism acceptance instead of autism awareness is because, number one, we want everyone to know autism is not a disability. Just because someone may have a developmental delay or they may not necessarily think in the same way that we do, or their physical or cognitive ability may not be the same thing. We want everyone to, first of all, educate themselves in that autism is multifaceted. And that's why they call it autism spectrum. And there's different levels of autism. There's high functioning, there is moderate, there's severe. So the first thing we want to do is educate the public. And by educating, you're bringing awareness. And then when you bring awareness, you're able to bring acceptance. So that's the reason why we decided to get away from more of the autism awareness and make it more of autism acceptance, because we want everyone in our community to not see those with autism as a disability, but to accept their differences, because they're human just like you or I.
And that's really important. For families who may be new to this event, what can they expect when they come out to Keys Park on April 18th?
Well, I would say a couple things. One of the things is, they can connect with other families. And then two, we will have, different organizations there. And of course, they will have, their information. And so, if, they're interested in what these organizations have to offer, then, they can get their information.
So tons of collaboration and other reseurces are going to be made available out there. I know, we've covered you guys a couple of years, several years. And I know the one observation that I see happening is that y'all just keep getting larger and larger.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. But apparently, as we're talking, I know we just back in February we had a Black authors series that we interviewed several Black authors, and we spoke to one lady, and she and her daughter both are special needs. She's a special needs para here at Alma Red Wine, and then her daughter went to school, became a teacher, and she's now teaching in the field at Ash. So it was like, and they had a family member that's in college now, and and I guess the one thing that they were passionate about was just making sure that and acceptance was one of the important things about some of the books that she's it's okay. I know one of the books was It's Okay to Be Me, and which was way cool, to say that folk are putting so much emphasis on it. And when you really sit back and you look at it, I think they just had the closing ceremony to the Special Olympics, and and to see these guys and young ladies just sliding around on this ice. The idea is anything is possible. You know what I mean? And certainly a lot of them have special needs, but they don't let anything stop them. So it's good to see you guys really are out there trying to make sure that the public know that it's here, these folk are people too, and let's accept them as they are, and that kind of thing. Why can y'all talk about how autism impact families locally and why community support makes a difference?
So to answer this question, first off, I have a personal tie with autism because my oldest son who is 19 now, but whenever he was diagnosed with autism, he was about 2, 3 years old. And at that time, autism was so new to the Alexandria community. And really, there just wasn't a lot of resources available, and such as, applied behavioral clinics and just mental health agencies that worked specifically with those with autism and a developmental delay. And so basically, it was kind of like a group of moms who also had children who were autistic. They rallied around to make sure that if any parent found out that their child had a diagnosis, that number one, you had a place to feel safe. And then you had a place to where you could like get some guidance and some resources. And even though there are more agencies here locally in Alexandria and Pineville that offer services to help with autism. And I know that there has been changes in health administration legislation to where autism is now considered recognizable as a disability, to where services can be paid to help families cover those costs. It's still the idea that it's a learning process and it's not a one size fits all. But in order for us as a community to recognize what we can do to expand on the resources, we have to raise awareness, and we have to also bring education, advocacy, and empowerment. And that's the reason why we do the work that we do within Zeta Phi Beta. We want to make sure that we are educating the public on this is what autism is. It's more than just a day, a World Day recognition. It is a month-long celebration where we highlight those that have various forms of autism or fall within the spectrum or developmental delay. And then we want someone to be inspired by the work that we're doing to come up with a concept of how we can ultimately help these individuals, our kids or adults, because that's another area where, okay, once they graduate from high school, where do they go? That's actually a problem that I'm having right now is, okay, you're an adult, he now works, but it's like, okay, if it wasn't for that, where would he go? What would he do to have a little bit of an independence, to just like you or I? So it's about basically showing the community that we have a large population of families that have a loved one with a developmental disability or autism, and to also just raise awareness in that we need more resources here in Alexandria, because autism is not going away, and we do not want it to just necessarily go away. We want things to really help families to be normal, to where they can lean on each other for emotional support, financial support, and ultimately just have them come together and say, you know, you're not alone in this. And that's what they're going to get when they come to our event.
Well, you know, that's so important, because I know, you know, in our family, we have, I have a great nephew that is autistic, and it's interesting in that what you said about the resources and how not knowing how easy it is for kids to get, you know, streamed into, you know, a behavior issue when it's autism. That's the and not only, you know, other people in the communities, but those people who are in the classroom, you know, that, you know, the idea that they can recognize and say, hey, this is a symptom of a child who's autistic as opposed to a discipline problem. Because I tell you, that's what was about to kind of happen in our case, but, you know, intervening and just really pushing the limits, it was kind of hard to see how hard we had to actually fight to get the resources that we needed. And to see that, you know, they'll have folk over there talking about this kind of stuff is really important. So kudos to y'all on that. So Dr. Hudson, what, you know, I know in the past you guys would have like a speaker and different things. Are there any planned organizations that are planned to be a part of the event this year? That I can come out there with my little notebook and say, you know what, I got to talk to them. You know, that kind of thing. So I can.
Yes, we actually do plan on having resources come out. So I'm going to actually yield that question, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
She can tell you a little bit more about the agencies and volunteers that are coming out to bring resources.
Okay.
So two of them that I'm thinking of, the Sinai Pregnancy Center, they will be there. If you want information on pregnancy care, they can give you that information. Also, another one is the Broom Tree. They will be there. That's a organization that helps to support families locally. That have individuals with disabilities, and not that we want to look at autism as a disability, because we don't. But I'm pretty sure that they would have information available to help with those on the autism spectrum as well.
Okay. All right. Now the flyer mentions that registration is free. There's no charge. Everybody can just come out. How can people register directly for the event?
Yeah, so registration is free, and so what they could do is, if they go to the flyer, they could scan the QR code, or they could actually did this the other day. They can hold it, and then what'll happen is the online form will pop up, and you could go and fill it out, put all your information in, if you want to register and be a part of the walk.
Oh, okay. All right. I think in our original post when we put it up, I think I put the actual link. They could just click on it, but I'll make sure that link is down there. So, they'll just be a little blue thing. It'll be UrbanCast, so it'll be a safe link for y'all. Folk would normally click on it if it's us, but they might not click on it if it's somebody else.
Okay.
We'll put it up there just to make sure. I also see y'all going to have T-shirts available. Yeah. Can you tell us how people get?
Yeah, so that's also on the form. Like when you finish filling out the online form, and you scroll down a little bit more, you'll see they have the T-shirts up there, and you'll see they have the links as well that you can press on to that you could click on to order the T-shirt. And then it'll have, the payment link and everything that where you need to send the money to order the shirt.
Okay, all right. And again, who are you guys saying should attend this event? Is it open to the public? Or is it just open
community?
To
yeah, the community. Yeah.
Everybody.
The community. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Oh, can I mention one more thing about the T-shirt? The deadline is March the 27th.
This is your show tonight, so you mention whatever you want to mention.
Yeah, March the 27th, 2026. So.
That's the deadline to order the T-shirt.
Yes, sir.
So they'll be here in time. All right.
Yes.
So did y'all hear that? March the 27th is the last day to order the T-shirt. So go ahead and order your T-shirt tonight. It'll be all right. What message do you hope people walk away after participating specifically in this year's program?
So the message that we would like to send to the community after attending this event is, number one, those with autism, it's not something that limits them. They are actually superheroes, number one. That's the main thing that we want everyone to realize, because number one, it takes strength for them to live their life. And as a parent of a son with autism, I can tell you it's not an easy task at times to basically encourage my son to actually go out and try to be independent and live his life. So we want people to understand that those that have autism, they're not limited to doing basic things. It doesn't mean that they're less than. It means that their mind works in a way that is faster than ours. And we just cannot understand that just yet. And just because it's something we may not be able to understand, don't limit them to saying that they are less than. So that's first and foremost that we want to instill in the community. The second thing that we want to also acknowledge is we want to also say thank you to all of those parents and caregivers and know that we see you, because it takes courage to raise a child or even have a family member with autism, because it can be a very tiresome journey in that you're always on. You're having to speak for them. You're having to advocate. And sometimes your demeanor may not come off as, I guess you could say your demeanor may not always be finer as we normally call it. But there have been several instances where I have said something and I was very heated because someone made a comment about my child and being limited. In fact, to kind of get a little personal, there was an individual who actually told me that the most that my son would ever be able to do is bag groceries or do simple tasks. And this was when he was a little boy. And so it angered me because I'm like, how do you know that's what he is going to be able to do? You don't know him, you don't know me, you don't know the support system that we have. And so we want the families to know that we see you, we recognize you, we see the hard work that you're doing, and we want you to come out and we want you to meet others to where you can form your own village of support, but also kind of learn from those that have been there and done that and know that they are not alone. And don't let anyone put your loved one in a box just because they may not be able to understand what's going on. Don't say, okay, well, this is all. Don't give up on your loved one just because it seems like everyone else has. And then, of course, we want everyone to come out and have fun. We want everyone to come and support the community because that's how we really come together as one. And when we come together, we have a great time. In fact, last year's event, nobody wanted to leave. We actually had to say, okay, the event's over, but everyone stayed. And it just makes me feel so good to know that every year it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Mm-hmm. And this is one of those events, even if you have a child that is considered normal, they can come out as well and they can mingle, and you never know. Your child may meet someone who meet a new friend that has autism, and that's how we really show everyone can come together and coexist and be accepted and embraced. So you don't necessarily have to have someone that has autism. You can have a family member that has autism, a loved one. Mm-hmm. You could be a teacher that works in a school. Jack, I'm hoping that you come out as well.
Yeah.
But this is one of those events where I know a lot of people say that you can't get anything good for free and nothing good ever happens in Central Louisiana. Well, this event shows that that's wrong because number one, they are getting a good event for free. And this is one of the good things that we're bringing to Central Louisiana.
Well, you know, and one of the things that you said there, Dr. Hudson, that I made the observation, and I'm no genius or anything, but I guess COVID happens, different folks say COVID happened for a different reason. Mine was to interact with my nephew. And the one thing that I quickly learned was, I started just inadvertently telling him, look, you moving a little too fast, Uncle Jack. You got to slow. You got to slow down a little bit. And he just kind of look at me crazy. But literally he was moving a little bit faster than what I could keep up with.
Exactly. The things about autism is their mind is just working so fast. And I've actually had a psychologist tell me someone with autism, it's not the fact that it's a disability. It's just their mind is working faster than they can process, and it's working faster than we can process, because my son can, I know I should not say this, but he can figure out how to change a TV to a whole different language and he will lock it. And I cannot figure out for the life of me how. He has a photograph. I mean, I've met individuals with autism that have a photographic memory. I mean, he doesn't forget anything. I mean, he can probably even crack open a iPhone. And there are times I'm just like, Xavier, I don't know what you did to my phone. Sure enough, he just does a few buttons and he's finished, and I'm like, I don't know what you just did, but you fixed my phone. He does updates to all of my technology, and there are some things he does that, I mean, do like create forms and programs. I'm like, I don't even know how you did it. And it's not because I'm not tech savvy, it's just that's his thing. So
well, you know, the way I say it, Dr. Hudson, I think we're the ones that's a little slow. And we can't keep up with them. And there's an interface, you know, in the IT world, that's called a time and interface issue. We're running slow, and you know, and the other computer running a little bit fast. And so we're the ones with the problem, not him.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Wow. Well, you answered my very next question, so I'm not going to go there. But how can people continue supporting autism acceptance beyond Saturday? You know, that one Saturday in April. How can folk continue to engage in conversations, dialogue, making sure that the resources are out there for folk who might need them and that kind of thing? So
I would say, you know, continue to, you know, do your research on it, you know, learn about the different levels of it. You know, I'm a firm believer that experience is the best teacher. You know, so, you know, there are those who are, you know, well experienced in the area of, you know, dealing with those, you know, who have autism. And so, you know, I just believe that, you know, you could, you know, always get, you know, helpful, you know, information, you know, from them to, you know, help you along, you know, your journey. So.
Okay. Before we get ready to get out of here, did you guys is it something you need to bring to the table that I didn't throw a question at you or anything? I don't have my nephew here. I bet if he was here, he'd say, Uncle Jack, you need to say this, that, and the other thing.
I don't really have anything, but I would like to say thank you, Mr. Jack, for having us on to talk about our upcoming Autism Walk. And thank you all who joined in to listen. And again, please come join us at Keys Park for our 5th Annual Autism Walk. That's going to be Saturday, April the 18th, 2026, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Dr. Hudson?
It's the same as what my fellow committee chair has said. First off, thank you so much for allowing us to come and talk about a topic that our sorority, along with me and Ora individually, are very passionate about. And just like she said, we encourage everyone to learn what you can about autism and find ways that you can help individuals that you know have has autism, because again, it is a village that it takes to make sure that, number one, they're okay, but at the same time find ways that you can offer support within the community. Even if it means I know we have several teachers in Rapides Parish who work for schools, and one of the things that you can also say is, hey, I have time, I would like to find a way to work with a school that has a program that works with autistic children. What can I do to help? It may be just providing some resources like classroom materials to help them. But really, it's all about just finding ways to where we can offer acceptance. The month of April is Autism Acceptance Month. So, of course, we're encouraging everyone at any point within the month to light it up blue, or at least to do something to raise awareness to show that, hey, we recognize that autism is here in Central Louisiana, and we are going to advocate for these individuals. And also, we just hope that we can change the mindset to where we can hopefully in the future bring more resources to Central Louisiana to help these individuals as well. So, but thank you for the work that you're doing to help us with getting the platform out as well.
No, it's truly our pleasure to to have you guys on and to make sure you guys are getting the word out and that kind of good thing. So thank you for all you guys do, and all of the other things that you guys do. Because I remember interviewing a group of your sisters that was working with the what is it called when you the trafficking. I think we interviewed a team last year, so it's a lot of good stuff you guys are doing over there. I'm saying it's good work, making good trouble in our community. So for that, y'all, I truly applaud you guys for all of that hard work that you're out there doing, and if we can ever be of assistance, all you gotta do, and that goes for any other members of the Divine Nine. If you guys are ever doing anything out there, here's an open invitation. Just give us a holler, and we're going to try to do what we can do over here to help amplify, all of the other good work that you guys are doing. Just let us know. That's all you got to do. Just all we can say is no, and I doubt if we say no. It'll have to be so. It would have to be a conflict, and you'd have to push it to another night. But I don't think I'm gonna say no, not at all. And not only for the Divine Nine, but any of the organizations that are out there doing the work in our community. We truly appreciate folk that are actually in the trenches, getting the job done, and making sure if it's just information that people need, you're making a difference at the end of the day. I definitely want to say thank you, Dr. Hudson. Thank you as well for joining us tonight and for sharing the information on the 5th Annual Autism Acceptance Walk. Again, the event is going to take place Saturday, April the 18th, 2026, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. in Keys Park over in Pineville. Admission is free, and everybody is welcome to come out. So if you just want to know something about autism, or you're a teacher and you just want to come out, come. If your grandparent, uncle, aunt, just go on out and enjoy. Before we close, again, I want to remind everybody, and I'm pretty sure the Zetas don't mind me saying this because I know they are always participating and encouraging folk to vote. They ain't saying who to vote for, right? But y'all with me on this, right?
Vote, yeah.
Actually, that is another with our sorority. I'll just go ahead and put it out there.
Go ahead and put it out there.
That is called The Extraordinary Power of She, where we raise awareness on social, health, and economic injustice within not just our communities, our state, but also nationwide. So yes, that's one of our initiatives of our sorority and Extraordinary Power of She is we want everyone to go out and vote. No, we cannot endorse a candidate. However, if you don't vote, you're basically not doing your civic duty. And right now, everyone needs to do their civic duty to have voices heard. So we definitely encourage finer women vote.
Okay.
Finer women vote. Yes.
Find a way to vote. And right now in the state of Louisiana, there are nearly 500,000 people whose names have been put on inactive voter list. So what that kind of means is that when you get to the poll, they're going to say, hey, we sent you a letter, we did something, you didn't respond back. If you don't vote in a national election within a cycle or two, you're going to be removed. And then you'd have to start the whole registration process all over again. So right now is that time to pick up that phone, call voter registration, or either just click on that link, key in your information, and you'll be able to tell whether you are registered or not registered or if you're inactive or not, or active or inactive. And if you're inactive, you can go ahead and give a call down to the registrar of voters office. Again, that link is in this post. We also want to thank our followers, the folk who are listening to us out there. We definitely want to thank you guys for staying in here with us. We also want to thank our partners, Sattlers Towing, Long's Product, Legendary Kung Fu and Tai Chi, United Wrestling and Entertainment, Natives International Market, and the Threadhead Embroidery. We also want to welcome our new silver sponsor on board, Acadian Ambulance. And Acadian Ambulance also has an autism thing that they're going to be doing in April as well. So, which is a good thing, everybody understanding what we need to be doing in the community. And don't forget to join us for our next episode of Let's Talk Tomorrow. We're going to be talking to another young lady, Savannah, and we're going to be talking about some special needs for folk who have special needs kids, and they're going to have a baseball tournament and all this kind of good stuff. And so, join us tomorrow night, and we're going to be talking about a little bit more on tomorrow night. Tomorrow at 7. Until next time, I'm Jack. I want you guys to stay informed, stay engaged, and we'll see you again on tomorrow at 7 around the same time. Dr. Hudson and Ora, if y'all could just hang in there, I'm gonna go ahead and end this stream. Let me double check something. Just they said thank you. All right.
Hey, did you know Long's Products is a family-owned janitorial supply with mops, brooms, trash bags, and they even have food service disposables, carry-out plates, and to-goes? Check us out.